Hi, it's Barry. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to do this video for you. I've had a lot of people tell me that they love the new planner, but they're not sure what to do with it because they have another planner or several other planners that are already working for them. So I've come up with an idea that I'm very excited about and is super easy to implement. And I'll be sharing that with you, as well as some information on some other items in the Cloth and Paper June subscription box. So clearly, the Cloth and Paper June anniversary box, with it being their 10-year anniversary, has just been spectacular. And many people have been getting second and even third subs. In fact, the CP Petite size sold out last week. If you're not subscribed and are looking to subscribe, or if you are looking for a second subscription for this month, you have until June 15th at 11:59 p.m. If you do decide to subscribe, feel free to use the code that I have in my description box below to save 10% on your subscription. I'll be going over this month's giveaway at the end of the video. So let's dive in. If you saw my last video, and if you didn't, I'll link it right up here. I showed you in a half letter size how I was setting up this planner, and I showed you several different things that work well with it. And we went over all of the new undated inserts and how those can be used. But some people didn't want to use this as their schedule planner. So I'm going to show you how I set mine up. So one of the great things about this planner, other than the fact that it's very compact, very lightweight, is that you can fold it back completely so that you can write on it this way. Obviously, you can pull pages out to write on and pull them back, but it doesn't take up very much room on your desk. What I'm going to show you is in a CP Petite, but you could do this in any size. And if you think of it versus a planner being open all the way wide, it only takes up half the space on your desk. So what I decided to do with mine, and I've actually named it, this is my handy. It's just handy to have on my desk. So let me show you what I have inside. I absolutely loved the envelope. And so I decided to punch it. Now I can stick things in here. For example, the stickers that came in the box fit very well in this envelope. And you could have secret information, whatever, or you could have no information at all and just be like me. And when I saw the members only card and this envelope and how well they look together, I pulled out a little bit of adhesive and glued it together and decided that is my front dashboard for this planner. I will be using a piece of acetate in front of this to protect it. I like to do that, but it's very hard to film with, so I took it out. I also love the card that came in the envelope, and I decided to punch that also. So I'm not sure about you, but I absolutely love these dividers. The vellum dividers with the red foil on them. Now I'm not going to put a whole set in there because it's going to make this pretty large. The disc size that I'm using in here, so these are the 1 inch and these are the 3/4 inch. And if you look at it, it kind of looks more like 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And as we've said before, this 1 inch CP silver disc is much smaller than the 1 inch, that's the Levenger. And I go into this in detail and show you the sizing of the disc in the last video that I did. So if you have an interest in that, you can go in there and see some of the differences. What I did find interesting is early on, when they were first available, I had purchased some of the green marble 1/2 inch discs. And I have to tell you that these green marble 1/2 inch discs are the same size as these 3/4 inch discs. But what I wanted with my handy was something that was just tiny that I could have on my desk that would not take up any room. And so I decided to try to do it with these small discs, and I'm really happy that I did. Let me go back to these vellum dividers. So I don't know what happened with you, and I think the vellum dividers in the larger size maybe don't do this as much, but when I took mine out of the package, this is how they were. I have a solution for that if this has happened to you. So, they're totally curved around and not flat. My solution is a law book that I have, which is very heavy, and then I put a weight on top of that. You probably only need a few hours to do it, but overnight's even better. So what I decided to do here, since this is just a little handy thing on my desk. This is not something I'm taking with me anywhere. And obviously you can set up one of these as an on-the-go planner also very easily. But what I decided to do was pull out my monthly for 3 months at a time, because I don't want it to take up too much room. And what I'm going to do, hopefully later today so that it's laid out well, is write in all my travel and special things that are happening, so at a glance I can look at the month. And I didn't even take the full 4 pages because I didn't need it. I really am only concerned about this layout, and I have that for the 3 months. The next thing I have in here is, of course, the absolutely beautiful dashboard duo in that rouge color, and followed by some nice prompts and a great picture. And I am using some top tabs that I had. These top tabs are actually a passport size, but because they're punched, they fit CP Petite without any problem. And I didn't really want bigger tabs to stick out on the right-hand side. What I have behind this dashboard is a page which I had to mark it as private. I can't put the actual page in here for you to see because I put these pages in all of my planners. I call them content. And this is any ideas that I have for social media posting, and especially my YouTube videos, I put in here. And I can't really show you because I have a list of things coming up. I like to keep some of that as a surprise. So of course I use one of the private stickers over there. The next section that I have, and this would just be a 1-page thing. And what this is just, here's some things I need to really focus on today, trying to get some of these done. I can leave this sitting out like this. And what I did was I actually used a Zig Clean Color dot marker here in the red color. I had to buy this in a set to get the red one. I don't think you can find it on its own. If you can, let me know. But I just think it's a great accent to the red in this box. I followed that with lots of blank pages. And you can see here, hopefully the camera shows it well enough, I'm using dot grid. I think y'all know I'm a dot grid fan. It helps me keep things fairly straight without being intrusive. I'm sure many of you GOE people would use graph paper for this, but you can use anything. And why I have the blank paper here is this. During the day, things happen. I all of a sudden get a phone call and the person's giving me a lot of information. I don't have time to grab my other planner where that might need to go. And I don't want to put it in the middle of my schedule in my main planner because I don't know what's coming. I just use this as a free-form area that I can take notes. These notes can be pulled out of here and put in any of my other planners, including a half letter, because they're punched the same way. So you can just put it in there, or you can copy over the information that is needed. I mean, sometimes you're just getting a phone number, or you're just getting a quote on something, or whatever it is. You want to write stuff down so you don't miss anything, but then it probably needs to go somewhere else. So I just wanted some space for that to kind of get me away from sticky notes all over the place and scraps of paper. Then I have a section in here that is, it's kind of miscellaneous, but basically what this is just some random information that I go to during the day at times. I don't want to go look it up somewhere. I just want to have it nearby. So here's an example. These are my favorite of the dot markers, and I just showed what they look like, so when I'm starting to do a page or a spread or a project, I can take a quick look at what that might look like in a small or a large dot. Then something that's very important to me that I've always liked to have is just what the size guide is for all the different planner sizes. Because maybe I want to make a copy of something and put it in the right size that I can stick it in one of my planners. Or I want to print something out in the size of that planner so that I can put it in the planner. Or I want to set up a printer preference or whatever. Cloth and Paper used to have this chart on their website years ago. I had a size that I had printed out in the pocket size, so I used that and I just affixed it to the page, and then I added the other planner sizes that I needed that were not on this one. Because, for example, CP Petite is not on this one because it was before CP Petite was ever introduced. Another page that's very helpful to me is I have a printable conversion chart. Like, let's say you have something and you want to print it out. What's the percentage that you need to change it, for example, if you're going across, from mini HP to half letter, or from pocket to personal wide, or whatever. So it's just a chart that you match up and you can see the percentages there. Very helpful. Something else I have here, just like some series or movies that I want to watch at some point in the future, but I haven't watched them yet. I'm just about to go watch TV. I don't want to go look everything up and which is it on? Is it on Max or Netflix or whatever? So I just have a one-page thing in here for some things I do want to watch coming up. This one you'll probably think is bizarre, but it is the schedule for my garbage pickup. The recycles get picked up every 2 weeks, and then it also tells me which days where there's a holiday, so it's moved off by a day. This is something I would always have to look up because sometimes I just can't remember which is which. And I don't really want to go look it up on the website every time I need this information. So I just printed it out in the CP Petite size, punched it, and it's in here. The other things I have in here, I got the 2 freebies. This is one you really don't want to miss because look at the color with the rouge. It's just absolutely beautiful. And there was this freebie, and then there was also the one with the black dots. And I thought those were 2 things that I might use in this planner, and so I punched them and put it in, put a page behind them, which can also be reused, but at least it's easier to see it better than just on the clear. And then in the very back, I did do a good job of getting that mailing label off. I just thought it should be the back page going along with this box. I loved it, and I love the color. So some other things that are notable. With this elastic here, you can hook a pen this way. This is a Pentel Energel in free, and this is in the color red. And you can buy some of these pens individually. They're pens that Cloth and Paper has provided to us in box. We got the burgundy one, and we got like a dark blue black. And I just love these pens. It came in 0.5. I was able to find the set in 0.4, so I have picked up a few sets of that because I enjoy writing with this pen. It's very smooth. And this red is just a great accent color for this whole box. I've seen people pair the red Kaweco fountain pen with this. I have a red Kaweco in a ballpoint pen, so that can also go with this, as well as the whole thing looks great with the Kaweco Art Sport pen in the tortoise, which is called Hickory. I do have a video coming out next. I recently did a very comprehensive review of my 18 Kaweco pens, and I'll link that in case you missed it. As I was doing that video, I wound up deciding to buy another 5 Kaweco pens. I don't know, please send help. And they have all finally come in along with some accessories. So I'm going to share that, and out of those 5, there's one that is my all-time favorite Kaweco pen, and you most likely have never seen it. It's my absolute fave, so stay tuned for that. The circle page flag set is just so excellent with this box, and so excellent to be able to use in the future. And if you're not a big circle page flag person, you may not realize this, but you can stick and re-stick these page flags a zillion times, and they don't leave any residue, and they stick just beautifully. If you decide to write on them, make sure you use the Uni Pin pen, which dries instantly so that you won't get any smearing. I want to talk about the pen that came in the box. So some of you who've been with Cloth and Paper for a while may have received this one that I keep in my pocket planner. And this came in a sub box a few years ago, the Zebra G450 with a medium nib, which was a 0.7. And a lot of people really love this pen. I was able to find a 0.5 refill for it so that I could use it. It's metal pen, it's really great. Now this pen is very similar, and this is the G750. One thing you will notice is it's a lot longer than the G450, but it does have many similarities. This pen weighs almost twice what the G450 weighs, and it feels very substantial in your hand. It has quick drying ink. This pen is especially good for lefties. There will be less smearing because the ink dries quickly. This one is a brass barrel in white, and you can find black ones on the internet, but you can't find white ones. Cloth and Paper was the first to release this. So this is a fairly heavy weighted pen made out of brass, thin, so it should fit in just about every pen loop that you might have. We were very lucky to get this premium pen in this box. So this is a retractable pen, similar to the G450. It's a very heavy weight, and this area here is molded so that it will be a comfortable grip for you. The grip on the 450 was a little different because this part is made out of rubber, which is probably part of what makes this pen so much lighter weight. But this brass pen in white is absolutely beautiful and so comfortable to write with. So I'm wondering, what did you think of the box? What were your favorite items? And how are you planning to use your new notebook cover? Of course, there is a giveaway. And if you've been watching the videos, the giveaway is for May and June. And you can enter once on any May and June video. And there will be more June videos coming. The winner is going to receive something from the May and the June intention box. All you have to do is like the video, be sure you're subscribed to my channel, leave a comment below, and make sure you're subscribed to my email list. If you're not already subscribed, there's always a link below in the description box as well as on my Instagram. Once you sign up, you'll get an email back, and make sure you click on it to confirm, because otherwise you will not be added to the list. If this is your first time signing up, be sure to put your YouTube in there. I announce the winners in the email, and that allows me to see who you are so that I can be sure to get to you as a winner. If you are already signed up and you never entered your YouTube, send me an email back on the newsletter and let me know your name and what your YouTube is, and I can update it for you. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time around.